Okay, so we continue with the sheet 12. Now carrying on from question 8. So in the other lecture, we went as far as in the other tutorial we went as far as question 7. Now we start from question 8, which is centered on the graphs. So graph each of the following functions in the indicated intervals. A, f of x is equal to sine x plus pi over 2. Now for me to be able to sketch the graph of the sine, there are two methods that you can use. Okay, so I'm given the interval for this one. The interval is negative pi over 2 less or equal to x and less or equal to 3 pi over 2. Now there are four methods you can use here. You can quickly get the period, which is 2 pi over the coefficient of x. In this case is 1. So just have 2 pi. And break this period and get what we call a scale, where you divide the period by 4 and get 2 pi over 4, which is pi over 2. Okay, and decide to use a table of values, or you go ahead and check, do we have another shift? Do we have the vertical shift? It is 0. Horizontal shift, you get x plus pi over 2 and you get to 0, so that you get x is equal to negative pi over 2, meaning that there will be a shift of pi over 2 to the left. So if I choose to sketch direct without using a table, we'll have where the amplitude in this case is just 1. So we have 1, negative 1, and then we have pi over 2, because that is our scale. The scale means what would be the intervals of your spacings when you start from 0 to what number? Is it 2 pi? Is it pi over 3? Is it pi over 7? Now we have found pi over 2, so from 0 to pi over 2. To pi over 2, we must add pi over 2. So we'll get pi, and then we'll get 3 pi over 2, and then we'll get 2 pi. And so the interval must be up to negative pi over 2 on the left. So include 2 pi deliberately there so that we can sketch sine. So the original graph of sine was supposed to come out like this. It's supposed to come out like this. This is the original graph of sine. But now this one must be, it has a shift to the, shift of pi over 2 to the left. So each point will move pi over 2 steps to the left. This point that is at 0 here will move up to here. The point which was at there, it will move up to here, and that point up to here. Then this point will move up to here, and that point will move up to here. And then we're able to sketch our function. So this is our final graph. You just put the initial graph of sine in dots, and then you shift it. Then that will be a graph. So what is important? Knowing the period and the scale. And you check also the shifts around. Is there a vertical shift, horizontal shift? And then apply the same principle. So we got to B. B, we have f of x is equal to cos x minus pi over 2 from pi over 2 let's say equal to x to 5 pi over 2. So again, the amplitude is 1, vertical shift is 0, horizontal shift pi over 2, of course to the right, because it's positive. The period is 2 pi divided by the coefficient of x, which is 1. So I get 2 pi. And then I bring the scale, which is period over 4, which is pi over 2. So again, we are able to sketch the same pi over 2, pi, 3 pi over 2, 2 pi, 5 pi over 2. Because it must go all the way up to there. And we have 1, negative 1. So cos moves in this way, goes up to there, goes up to there. So that's cos. And then it needs to be shifted to the right by pi over 2 steps. So that point will move to here. This point will move to this point. This one will move to here. This one will move to there. And that point there will move to here. And so our graph is going to be, this is going to be a graph for our cos. So when it is positive, it will just shift and you don't do anything much. Okay, so let's go to C. And so for C, f of x is equal to 2 plus sine x. So again, amplitude is 1, vertical shift is 2, horizontal shift is 0, the period 2 pi over 1, and the scale pi over 2. The same will be getting the scale. And then you sketch. So we have pi over 2, our scale, pi, 3 pi over 2, 2 pi. And then 1, negative 1. Then there's a vertical shift. So let me say 1, negative 1, negative 2, negative 3, 2, 3. Okay, so I've put that because I have a shift, vertical shift of 2, which is done on the y-axis. And then you sketch the original graph of sine, of course, up to the amplitude, which is 1. So it has to go there. That's the graph of sine. And then this graph of sine must be shifted by 2 steps up. So this point will move to 2. This point will move to 3. And this point will move to 2. And this point will move to 1. When I add negative 1 plus 2, I'll get 1. And that point will move to 2. So the graph of this is going to be, it's going to be here. So that's how you graph sine, following the shifts. Then D, I think D can be done just on this spot. F of x is equal to negative 2 plus sine x minus that is sine x minus pi over 2 from pi over 2, let's equal to x is equal to 5 pi over 2. Okay, so the previous one, the interval given is supposed to go up to negative pi. So just make sure that you bring it all the way up to negative pi. So where this point comes, you have another point here and another point there. So the graph would be that if you reach the given interval. Okay, so we come back to D. So D, we have the amplitude 1, vertical shift -2, horizontal shift pi over 2, period 2 pi, scale pi over 2, and then you put up the graph. So we have pi over 2, we have pi, 3 pi over 2, 2 pi, and 5 pi over 2. Then amplitude 1, -1, of course there'll be a shift of -2. So we need -2, we also need -3, so we need -3. Okay. We also need -2. Alright. So now first we put the initial graph of a sine. Again, this is sine within the asked period, so to 2 pi. And then we shift it now horizontally by pi over 2. So we have the first point here coming here, and that point move to the right, to the right, to the right, and to the right. So get this point like that. And then from there, you now come back and do the vertical shift. So by 2 steps down. So that point comes here, that point comes here, this point comes here, and the other point here, and then back there. So it's going to be this point here, like that. So that everything must make sense. Bordering on this line. Okay. So that was the graph of, and that was the solution for D. Move to question 9. Question 9. Find the period, amplitude, phase shift of the given function and draw the graph of the function. So now before we start breaking all those that are being asked us to find, let me give a general statement. If I have this as A sine bx plus c plus d, how do I then find the amplitude? So the amplitude will be the modulus of A, the period will be 2 pi over d, the horizontal shift will be given by equating this guy to 0 and solving for x. So if it is positive, it's to the right. If it is negative, it's to the left. The vertical shift is just d, it's a sine, and the scale remains the same, period over 4. This happens for sine, for sec, for cosec. And for tan, if I have A tan bx plus c plus d, the amplitude is the same, the period That's why there's a difference for tan and cot. The period is 2 pi. It's not 2 pi. The period is pi over b. So it's pi over b. And then horizontal shift is the same. We get this to this to 0, and get this. And for the same, the vertical shift is also the same. And the scale also is the period over 2. So now we can attempt our questions. So we have A. Question 9a, f of x is equal to 2 sine x minus pi over 3. So here, what's the amplitude? The modulus of 2, which is 2. What's the period? 2 pi over 1, which is just 2 pi. The vertical shift, 0. Horizontal shift, this is just x is equal to pi over 2, which is to the right. And then the scale is going to be the period, which is 2 pi over 4, because this is sine. So we get pi over 2. And then we should be able to sketch. So the amplitude is 2. So negative 2. There's 0 there. Pi over 2. Pi. 3 pi over 2. 2 pi. So check if there an interval given. So here there's no interval, so we just complete one full circle and then be guided by the shift. So add 5 pi over 2. Okay. Then our normal graph of sine, as usual. So the normal graph of sine in the first 4 points. And then you shift it to the right. So you shift this point here, that point here, this point here, that point there, and this point here. And then draw a graph like that. So this is our f of x. And that's how we draw. So really, there's nothing much to add here. So B follows. Okay, let me do B. B, we have f of x is equal to 3 cos 2 x plus pi over 2. So the first thing here, to avoid changing anything, is to multiply these two inside like that, especially for the period, so that the amplitude is that vertical shift is 0, horizontal shift 2x plus pi is 0, giving x is negative pi over 2. So pi over 2 to the left, period 2 pi over 2, which is pi, and so the scale will be pi over 4. And then you should be able to sketch it. So that is pi over 4, our scale. You add pi over 4, you get pi over 2, 3 pi over 4, pi. And then to the left, negative pi over 4. The amplitude 3, negative 3. Start from 0. So from 0, it will be 1 there. So this one, it will come like that. and then from there we shift it now to the left by pi over 2. So we get each point and move it to the left. That point will come here, this point will come here, and that point will come here, that point will come here, and that point will come there. So our graph now is going to be that. So you should be able to practice and see and try to make sure that it comes out. And then d f of x is equal to negative 2 tan x minus pi over 2. So how do you get the graph? Remember we said amplitude is the same. So we get 2. The period is what changes. So it's pi over the coefficient there, which is 1. So it will be pi. And then the shift, nothing changes. Horizontal shift, x minus pi over 2 is equal to 0. So pi over 2 is the shift. Then the vertical shift is 0. Then you can sketch tan. So what's the nature of tan? Tan x is sine x over cos x. This means that where cos is 0, tan is undefined. And for real, if you try to put tan 90, we'll have sine 90, which is pi over 2 still, over cos the same. So pi over 2. And this will become, so here we have pi over 2. The top one is 1, the down one is 0. And this is undefined. So to avoid having a lot of issues, the scale is pi over 2 and then pi. So at pi, so for tan at 90, it's undefined. So we put the asymptote lines. So these lines will never be touched. And then if you must sketch up to, suppose you sketched up to 2 pi. Again, you realize that at 270, cos is 0. So this is undefined there. And then you sketch. So tan comes this way. Okay, so before I can put the lines, first let me put other properties like the amplitude 2 to negative 2. This is guiding me on where should I leave this line now coming to the x-intercept. So I come from there. When I reach there, I start coming to the intercept, go down, and then go down. So these here are not straight lines. It's just that the accuracy here is difficult, but you're trying to show that this line down here will never touch this line, but it will be going closer to it. So here it's ending here because I don't want to use the other interval. If I wanted to use the other interval, I come back and put the brackets. So I say here it's negative pi over 2, negative pi. So I'll put another asymptote there. And so my graph, if I wanted to finish it that way, it could go that way. Now, there's a shift. Vertical shift 0, but we have a shift here, horizontal shift, by pi over 2 steps. How do we use it? So you move all the points to the right by pi over 2, implying that we'll move the lines first. So this line will be moved to here. Okay, this point will be moved there. This line will be moved here. We are now shifting, and this point will be moved here, and this line will be moved here, and that point will be moved here. So now our asymptotes now have moved. They are no longer where they were, and the graph is no longer the red line. The graph now is supposed to come this way. This is supposed to be our graph. Coming here like that. Okay? But the other question is, our graph is negative. Okay? So, if our graph is negative, then how do we deal with a negative? So I know that if I had 2 and I'm playing with negative, 2 will become negative 2. So for that reason, the graph of this curve comes now in blue, but it has to switch the orientation. So where it was negative, it becomes positive. Where it was positive, it becomes negative. So this graph is going to go this way, and that curve will also have to come from there to here, and the other graph will have to come from there to here. So this graph in this color is the one that we are calling f of x is negative tan x minus pi over 2. So it has been moved. Okay, so that is it for this data sheet with graphs. We go to question 10. Question 10, we are solving equations now. Solve each of the following equations for theta if theta lies from 0 to 360. So, example A, we have 2 sine theta plus root 2 is equal to 0. And they're looking for theta. So first thing is to take the root 2 to the other side. So we'll have 2 sine theta is negative root 2. And so we'll have sine theta is equal to negative root 2 over 2. That's easy. Now you're looking for theta. So the easiest question here is, what angles? Okay, first you find one angle in the first quadrant. That gives you root 2 over 2. So sine, you know that sine 45. Sine 45 is root 2 over 2. But this 45 is in the first quadrant. So now we go and look for 45 in the third and fourth quadrants where sine is negative. So in the fourth quadrant, so we have a reference angle. Remember, we said about reference angles. In the first quadrant, it is a very angle. In the second quadrant is 180 minus x. And in the third quadrant is x minus 180. In the fourth quadrant is 360 minus x. Okay. Now what we have is the reference angle, the theta itself. We're looking for x. So how do I get x if I'm in the third quadrant with 45 as my theta? So it will be 45 is equal to x minus 180, which is x is equal to 45 plus 180, and this is 220. 25. So we have theta value 225. So in the third quadrant, in the fourth quadrant again, our theta there is 45. Now we have 360 minus x star. X degrees, and we want x degrees. So x degrees is 360 minus 45, which is 315. So another theta is 315 degrees. So you need to find all possible solutions to avoid losing marks. Okay? So what about B? B, sine squared theta minus 1 is equal to 0. So how do I get the solution? Just say, okay, this is just a difference of two squares. So I have sine theta minus 1, and also sine theta plus 1 is 0. In other words, sine theta is 1, sine theta is negative 1. So what is theta? Okay, so the first thing we know, theta is 90. Cosine 90 is 1. And that's the only angle that gives us 1 from 0 to 360. Okay. Then what about negative 1? Theta is cosine 270. You can get this from the table or by graphing. You see, it can also remind you that it's 270 there. What about C? 2 cos squared theta is equal to cos theta. So here you can put the other cos here, then factor out cos theta, and have cos theta minus 1, which is 0, which implies that cos theta is 0 and cos theta is 1 over 2. If you divide the 2 there and take 1 the other side. Now looking for angle that gives us a cos 0. That is at theta 90, the first angle. The other angle is at theta 270. For half, we have theta 60. And so we must also have the second quadrant. Except the second quadrant, we would wish to have, but cos there is negative. So we don't have it because we get a negative cos in the second quadrant. So we just have 60 where we get half. And also in the fourth quadrant, that's where there will be another 60 now, which we get using this calculation. We are saying x is 360 minus 60, which is 300. Another theta is 300 degrees. That's how we get our solution. So you can solve D. You can also solve E in the same way. Okay, let me do E. So E, we have 2 sine squared theta minus cos theta minus 1 is 0. Now, because we have cos here, that is not squared, we use a squared sign using the identity sine squared theta plus cos squared theta is equal to 1. So we change cos, we change sine into cos using that. So where there is sine, we have 1 minus cos squared theta minus cos theta minus 1 is 0. So when you expand, we have that, so that we have negative 2 cos squared theta minus cos theta plus 1 is 0. So this now becomes a quadratic, especially if we let x to be cos theta. we'll have negative 2x squared minus x plus 1 is 0. And so when you multiply negative 2 by 1, the product will be negative 2. The sum will be negative 1, and so the factors must be negative 2 and positive 1. So that you have negative 2x squared minus 2x plus x plus 1, which is 0. Factor out that, you have x plus 1 and that x plus 1. Then we factor out x plus 1 and have 1 minus 2x, 0. So x is negative 1 and x is half. So we go back and say what was our x? Our x was cos theta. Our x was cos theta. Okay. So what is theta for negative 1? Remember the interval from 0 to 360. Theta here is only one variable, pi. What about half? In the first quadrant, we said it's 60, and in the fourth quadrant, 300. So here we have said pi 180. Okay. So we have that. So we go also to F. F has tan theta is equal to cos theta. So this one is a thing. Tan and cot are always the same. So let's just look at an angle. I mean, they're the same at a certain angle. Not always. So they're the same at a certain angle in the first quadrant. For example, if you look at tan 45, you get 1. Cot 45, you get 1. So since they are equal at 45, then theta is 45. Now, because they are equal in all the quadrants in terms of the sign, so when you go in the second quadrant, what is 45? You say 180 minus 45. You get 531. So I have that. Then you go for third quadrant where you get 225. And again you go in the other quadrant where you get 315. So these are your angles respectively in each quadrant. So this was question 10. So question 11 is the same as question 10, except that here we are using, we've just changed the angles here, now doing the radians. Question 11, where we have, for example, A, 2 tan x, 2 tan x, sec x, minus tan x is equal to 0. So I'm solving, so I factor tan x, and we have 2 sec x minus 1 is 0, meaning that tan x is 0 and sec x is 1/2. So if you get that, for tan x 0, that's an easy thing. We're just looking for the zeros of sine, because we know that tan is sine over cos. So only where sine is 0 is where tan is going to be 0. So x is 0, 1, x is pi, x is 2 pi, from 0 to 2 pi. Then where sec is half, this is This is where you say, what is sec? Sec is 1 over cos. Now where this is half, you cross multiply, you get 2 is equal to cos x. And you cannot find this, so that's undefined there. We just throw away. So the solutions will be 0 pi and 2 pi. Now we can do another one. So B, we have 2 cos squared theta plus 3 cos theta plus 1 is equal to 0. Wow, everything is in terms of cos. So just, if you want, you can go straight. Treat cos as x, but not even by substituting, just direct. So you say my product is 2 by 1, which is 2. My sum is 3. So my factors will be 2 and 1. So I get 2 cos squared theta plus 2 cos theta plus cos theta plus 1 is 0. So what's common here is 2 cos theta, and then you have cos theta plus 1 outside cos theta plus 1, and factor out cos theta plus 1, remain with 2 cos theta plus 1 is 0, so that cos theta is negative 1 and cos theta is negative half. So for negative 1, theta is going to be, when you have pi that behaves, that gives us a negative from 0 to 2 pi. Then for half, now we're dealing with negative half. So we're now not getting anything from the first quadrant, but we use everything from the first quadrant. So we know that a theta is equal to 16. That gives us cos is half in the first quadrant. But what is 16 in the second quadrant? So you say 180 minus 60, which is 120. So theta is 120. And what is 120? So we can get it in terms of pi's. So that you have 3 pi minus pi, which is 2 pi over 3. We also have another 60 in the third quadrant. Remember we said there it is x minus 180. Now we have the theta, 60 is equal to x minus 180. So we are adding 180 plus 60, and that is 240. And what is 240? That is pi plus pi over 3, which is 4 pi over 3. And that's how you get the solutions there. So try to solve C, D, A, and F in here. But where there is sec, you change everything from sec to cos. Then it becomes easy. And then for D, I give a guidance. So because D is not squared, you have sine x is equal to 1 minus cos x. For you to have a relationship between these guys, you square, so that you have sine squared x is equal to 1 minus 2 cos x plus cos squared x. And change the sign to cos. And then you have this. So you can take this cos the other side and the one on the other side, so that you have 0 on the left is negative 2 cos x plus 2 cos squared x. Because the ones will disappear. But if you factor out cos x, then you have cos x minus 1 is equal to 0, implying that cos x is 0 and cos x is 1. So we know that here for 0 is at 90 and at 270. And then for 1, we know it's at 0 and also at 2 pi. So these are our solutions. So you should be able to finish up here. You do the very thing to f, you square, so that tan and sec can have a relationship, and then solve. Question 12. Question 12. Solve each of the following equations for theta, where theta again lies there. This is just the same thing that we are doing. So if you have cos theta is equal to sine 2 theta. Just need to change sine 2 theta. Remember, sine 2 theta is coming from theta plus theta, which is sine theta cos theta plus cos theta sine theta. This is just the same as 2 sine theta cos theta. So when you change, you have cos theta is equal to 2 sine theta cos theta. So if you take any of these the other side, suppose you brought that to the left, then you have 0. So you factor out cos theta and have this sine theta is 0. So that cos theta is 0 or sine theta is 1 over 2. So cos theta is 0, we know, just from finding the something. It is 0 at pi over 2 and also at 3 pi over 2. Sin theta is half at 30, which is pi over 6. And also it's half at in the second quadrant, which is at 150. So pi minus 30, and that is 5 pi over 6. So it's only in those two intervals, and so these are the solutions that we have for that. Okay. So you must be able to apply the same concepts of changing cos 2 theta. So I just guide for cos 2 theta, you change it again using cos theta plus theta. So the rise that you're getting cos squared theta minus sin squared theta. So whenever you find cos 2 theta, you substitute that. And also sin theta over 2, they have angles. So they just use the identities of the half angles, which if you forget, you can derive from the same relationships that we have of cos 2 theta, cos theta minus sin squared theta. Okay, so we end here on this lecture, on this tutorial sheet. So I'll see which tutorial sheet is next, and it must be uploaded after a discussion of this. So at today we have class. I'll send the link, which is supposed to be at 12, if not 13. So then I'll send the link so that you can attend to questions that are arising from this tutorial sheet. I hope you will be free around that day. Okay, or it can be even be at 10, depending on the time that I find, but I'll send the link. Okay.